All right. Everybody remembers the order we go in to introduce ourselves, correct? All the good little boys and girls?
Yeah, Ryan goes first. I make fun of him, and then Mike brings us home.
Oh, okay.
Excellent. And I start us off. Welcome back to Roll Initiative, Claw and Order, Special Cryptids Unit.
That was a pretty fun intro there.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, man. I'm your DM, Brian, and I'm joined this week by...
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm playing Lawrence Aberline, also known as the Dog Man of Michigan. A little fun fact about Lawrence this week. He is not familiar with the term for the hell of it. He is more familiar with the term for the halibut. So every time anyone says for the hell of it, he assumes they're saying for the halibut.
All right, now I do remember you telling me like a couple days ago when you came up with that, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not even gonna be able to riff off that. It sucks.
Do you have any fish-based Norman facts?
Fun fact: Norman can turn into a fish. That's all I got, just for the halibut. But true fact about Norman, I've never actually specified which cryptid I'm playing as. I feel like we're deep enough in. I can just say I'm playing a skin. Oh, all right.
Just talking over.
That'll be redacted in post if I almost said it.
You should say it. I want to hear it.
I'm getting mixed signals now.
If you say it, they will come.
I'm the neutral party. I'm just saying everything.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm gonna be playing normal, just a normal human who's gonna keep it on the DL.
You call him normal?
I think I said that. If I
I
did,
heard
Yeah, you called yourself normal, a normal human.
I'm normal, Norman human.
Normal Norman human, excellent. And he turns into fish.
And I turn into fish. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Just for the halibut.
We got it.
We get it, Ryan. We do.
No, actually, I think if you say it one more time, it'll become funny again.
Yeah, give it to me one more time. We can fix this in post. Maybe if we all laugh this time.
It's got to be earned.
Yeah, give it to us.
No.
Yeah, I didn't want to hear it either. I set it up and I was like,
I'm gonna save it. I'm saving it. I got a pocket halibut.
It is in the chamber.
There it is. He's got that pocket halibut in the chamber. Now it's funny again.
God.
Hi, I'm Mike. I play Mikey, the Joyzy Devil. I was going to say, fun fact, he can go fishing with his feet, but that would be hard with hooves.
Yeah,
I don't know. A fish.
Mikey ate a fish once.
I'm sure he... Yeah. Don't they have the Italian thing of the 7 fishes?
Oh yeah, Mikey
There
eats
you
7
go.
fishes every year.
Every year. Wishing he had a family.
Play the theme song.
Play this fucking song.
Initiative, join us on our quest. Roll initiative, you can be part of a long rest. Roll initiative.
Let's do a quick recap. Spooky stuff happened. Go. You guys landed in the small town in Louisiana.
Greenport.
Bam, thank you, sir. You met Agent Spencer. He gave you a quick rundown of what was going on. There was a feeling of werewolf finger burning that drew Lawrence in the direction of the woods in a classic thing you're not supposed to do in D&D and in something you don't do in horror movies either. He split the group. You know, he split the group. He went and found another werewolf in the area named Rougarou. This werewolf had captured a member of Lawrence's dad's pack. Lawrence proceeded to, without questioning, absolutely open fire on this captured werewolf and turn him into a pile of bits. While that was happening, Mikey and Norman were dealing with townsfolk who had lit themselves on fire risen from their fiery death as a zombie. Once that was dealt with, they proceeded to find Lawrence and Rougarou. A Speak with the Dead spell was cast, which basically gave you guys a good idea of what was going on in the swamp. Some werewolves, they were the ones that captured the children and take them deeper into the swamp. You were able to find out that there was some connection between Lawrence's dad's curse and Phlegethos, the plane of hell that has been antagonizing Mikey's father's ring of hell. You guys recruited Rougarou, set off into the woods in pursuit of a disembodied hand. This hand was attached to some kind of large, sinewy vine. It grabbed a handful of werewolf guts and then shot back off into the woods. You all pursued deeper into the woods, found yourself in a swampy, tree-covered area with a huge smell of rot. You looked into the waters that seemed to be glowing with some kind of otherworldly glow for how dark it was. You looked down to find a strange figure looking back at you, a slender woman with sharp features and long pointed ears. Below her torso, she clawed her way out of the water. The water bubbles all around you guys as you see limbs erupt from the water and start to pull mangled corpses out of the swamp. And that's where we're at. We had just rolled initiative and we're about ready to go.
You guys ready to bring some monsters to Pound Town? Show them who the real horror movie monsters are?
A fan of Pound Town.
Oh, yeah.
If nobody has any questions before we're about to get started here.
I just want the record to show that I'm a bear.
Yes, you are a polar bear. Lawrence, you don't have to continue to be in werewolf form if you would not like to be.
I would not like to be.
Oh, so can the record also state that this bear is covered in mud?
Oh, yes. Yeah, you did roll around in mud so that you would not be a gleaming white polar bear traipsing through the swamp.
I feel like the record's pretty clear now.
We got a classic muddy bear, and Lawrence.
Yeah, the thing about Lawrence is that he only turns into a werewolf when he, strongly detects the presence of his dad's pack. So whenever it's not, he really dislikes being a werewolf.
Yeah, and that presence is softer now.
Mm-hmm. And Rougarou stays werewolf the whole time, right?
Yeah, he's perma-wolf.
Yeah, that's why I dislike him.
Very hostile. All right, so the top of the order is going to be Mikey and Norman. You guys both rolled 19s, and you guys both have the same dex. The only tiebreaker would be the polar bear actually has less dex than Mikey does, or you guys can just roll for it.
Roll off.
Eric, what do you think? Roll for it? Or we could just choose, I guess.
You guys can just choose also.
Yeah, if we're allowed to choose, I say you go first in case you want to do some AoE stuff. I'm not immediately standing in it.
Now that I can look at the map while we're playing, we're obviously going to play a little bit more based on the map. Keep in mind while you guys are describing what you're doing that nobody else can see the map.
Yeah.
I know we haven't played much map because of my inability to use the map while we've been recording. Now that we can, I feel like it's going to be easier for you guys. We just got to be more descriptive with what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can handle it. When you take your turn, just describe the full thing you're doing. I'm going to move through these trees towards the 3 monsters ahead of me, and I see more monsters to my right and right there.
As opposed to, I'm going to move myself over here, and then I'm going to attack.
Critical Role does that. I'm going to move here. Well, where's here? I know, you're supposed to be watching.
Don't you critical roll us.
I'm just going to go here to these first guys and activate Burning Hands.
Nope.
Wow, I have so much bullshit in my list now. Where the fuck even is it?
You've got like 8,000 cantrips.
That's right, you took Book of Shadows or whatever, it gives you 3 cantrips also.
He's the Pact of the Tome. Yeah. He's a warlock and a sorcerer. And he's got the spell sniper feat, which gave him 1.
Dex saving throw for the 2 you come flying up on these first 2 zombies, yakking themselves out of the water. 5 and a 0 are not going to pass. The zombies stuck in the muck. They're yanking themselves out. They both take 11 damage from you. The fire catches the methane coming out of the swamp water and lights these guys up almost like lights them up like they're covered in a kind of oil, and they go up pretty quick with almost like a blue blaze. Kind of matches the blue and green glow all around you guys, and you watch as like flesh kind of falls off of these zombies to the ground, stays lit, covered in napalm. It's got like that bluish burn to it as you watch just chunks of zombie fall all over the floor of the swamp and just continue to smolder there for a little while.
I have a question. Did Mikey like run up or did he fly up? I believe
I
he
just
was
ran up.
flying. Oh, you. Okay.
Hooves pounding into the swamp. That's your action. Did you want to do anything else with your turn?
I think I want to rotate. Just still, this guy can't get an opportunity attack, but just rotate to here on him. I think that could make things easier for everybody else, and then I am good.
You're gonna loop around to the right side of them. All the enemies are to your left now, and ahead of you, and all of us are kind of back where you just came from, just for our viewers at home.
And Norman, you're up.
I'm a bear. I'm gonna charge forward and do bear things. So that's a 21 with the bite attack and a 10 with the claws.
Well, these guys do not have a ton of armor to them, so both of those will be hitting.
That's 7 piercing damage from the bite attack and 10 slashing damage from the claws.
That's all just in the one zombie.
Yeah, make sure it's dead.
Well, it won't be quite dead. It is incredibly fucked up, though.
All right, then I'm glad I went all in.
So you come charging across the forest floor of the swamp, jumping over puddles, storming through mud. This group of zombies is picking them up out of the mud. These guys are a little bit further away from where Mikey just landed and set these other two zombies on fire, which are still burning behind you as you charge in and pounce on this up front zombie. Can you give me a perception check?
I've got the keen smell, so if that is in play, then
It's-
just know that there's advantage.
It smells like a zombie.
Fantastic. Sorry, that's actually a 15, because I'm supposed to be using my wisdom, not the bear's wisdom.
With a 15, you have worn many a skin, many a form. The form of this zombie, it could be from rot and decay, and the bones have settled into a weird way, but it looks like it's short and squat. It's built that way, built to be strong and small.
Where is its handle and where is its spout?
Where is its handle? Where is its spout? You have seen short people or dwarves in this world. This strikes you as a very structurally sound creature that you are pounding down into.
Wait. Is this a Forgotten Realms Faerun dwarf?
Oh, possibly. The first zombie you guys saw at the end of last week did have pointed ears and was a beautiful, sharp-featured woman.
Interesting.
I think I realized that was an elf. At the time, it didn't strike me as...
Yeah, that kind of went over my head as well. I'm just now realizing that bitch was an elf, and I didn't react at all to it.
Can I roll something to see if I remember or know anything about it?
Good idea.
Give me a history check.
That's an 18 on my history check.
An 18 on your history check. You have a very good understanding of all of the legends and folklore of this world. It's why the collective leans on you a lot. You have a recollection of this form as you're counting down into it, but it's from so long ago, it almost feels like a memory that you don't have access to. You have so many memories inside your head, so many beings worth of knowledge.
No, but this thing I can't think of. It's a memory that might actually be mine, and I just start wailing into this thing.
It feels very much like when you were in the records room staring at files that had the redacted information on it. It feels like whatever this thing is in your brain has been redacted.
I'm redacted.
You have a concept of it being there without any information as to what it is.
You're not redacted, you're Norman. Ah.
No, don't you see? My name is Red Acted.
As you tear into this dwarfish zombie, still just barely standing as you tear off chunks of its torso and they fall back down into the swamp. It is now, conveniently, the group of zombies that you have decided to run up and attack.
Yeah. Bring it, bring it, bring it.
All three of these zombies hold themselves out of the mud and leap onto the back of the bear and start to scratch and claw at you, while the one underneath of you tries to raise its one remaining arm and club into your face. And they're all just going to be able to take one slam attack.
Slam. That's a miss, a hit, and a hit.
So the one underneath of you is just flailing away. Its other arm breaks off as it tries to slam into the bear's face, breaks back as the arm crunches and flops backwards as it does no damage to the muscle of the bear. The two on the back do find purchase and are able to claw deep into you and leave big, large, running red lines as you take 7 damage. Oh! Boom, boom, boom. And then with that, it is going to be Lawrence's turn.
If you guys couldn't see, I've been pondering this idea for a while.
This man's pondering his orb over here.
That's right.
Oh, we love a good pondering orb.
Lawrence is going to flip open his book and say to Winston, just like we practiced, and he's going to fire a lightning bolt. 30.
Oh!
And he's firing it this way. Can you see what I'm drawing?
Yeah.
I'm going to attack the one next to Mikey, and then it should pass through and hit the two directly behind that one at a slight angle.
I wasn't even scrolled up on the map. That's sick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, really? You're just going to hit one guy with a lightning bolt?
No, he lined this up pretty good.
I just stood in place. I flipped the book around, opened it up, and Winston's face opens up and shoots a lightning bolt out of it.
We've come a long way from you trying to hit stuff with a cane.
All right, well, these zombies are all going to do dexterity saving throws, which we already know from Mikey doing Burning Hands earlier is their specialty.
It is a DC 16. I thought it was a 17, but it's not.
Doesn't matter. None of them got it.
So they take 36 damage each.
Holy shit.
This is going to wipe all 3 of these zombies straight up off the map. You channel that lightning bolt. The one is still burning as it's like turning to react to Mikey. You watch the lightning bolt shoot out across the swamp and absolutely smokes the one directly in front of you, Mikey. This lightning bolt passes through and explodes this zombie. You are immediately covered in whatever is left of flesh that was left on it is
Oh.
all around you.
It's that opening scene in The Boys when the speed guy runs over that chick.
Yep, or I was thinking when they blow up a graboid in Tremors.
Oh. I guess I'm just gonna look over at Lawrence. Oh, shit!
I just close Winston back up and tap him and be like, yeah, I was capable of doing that the whole time.
I've just been choosing to use my cane.
And my gun.
That was my action. I don't want to move any closer.
We got to keep the Rougarou around to get this guy to try and combat.
Yeah, right? The Rougarou brings out the best in Lawrence. So that is Lawrence's turn. The one remaining zombie that is a Molotov cocktail is going to lurch forward towards Mikey so that it can swing out with a slam attack. I believe a 22 hits Mikey.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So this zombie is hurt from being on fire, but is able to turn, pivot, and run at Mikey and tackle into him, only dealing 2 bludgeoning damage as he slams into Mikey. With that, Rougarou is going to look around and see that Lawrence has wiped 3 zombies right off the map. And he looks at you and he's like, good sir, your skills have quite improved since the last time we have fought together. He'll leap off across the swamp to assist Mikey over here, who just has one flaming zombie on him.
I'm just gonna call out behind him when he leaps off. I've always been this good.
The Rougarou runs up behind the zombie Mikey. You see him coming, all fucking swiftness and ninja warrior through the swamp as he leaps over some roots, hops off a tree, comes flying in, lands a claw attack, and then goes in for a scimitar slash. The zombie that had just tackled into you gets cut in half. Good Mikey, sir. I believe this one is now done for.
Perfect, because then I can save my shots for the guy on our bear friend over there.
The two halves of that zombie fall to the floor. Rougarou turns and he's like, yes, I do believe I'm going to head over there towards Mr. Norman the bear and see if I cannot draw some attention away from him. And he's going to run over here, position himself up with Norman. That's going to be Rougarou's turn. And this one zombie from the group, Lawrence the Devastator with his lightning bolt, is just going to shamble down this direction towards you guys. As we come up to the top of the order before Norman and Mikey go, you guys hear off in the woods still a bunch of that whispering that you had heard when you first saw the hand appear that had dragged off the werewolf parts. Give me Arcana checks.
You do that sometimes.
I can pull out my little booklet, see what it says in it about some Arcana stuff.
This polar bear got a 17.
I got a 26.
11.
All right. With a 17, the polar bear becomes Dr. Strange. No. With the 26, Lawrence is standing there. He still has the book out. Winston is still actively in the area, but you watch him stop, and it gives you the feeling of the hair raising on the back of your neck. You see Winston staring into the swamp where that zombie that had been in front of Mike exploded. You notice that there's still fire burning on the ground from the bits of the zombie flesh that had been ignited, but it's moving for some reason. You notice the flesh is all cascading and flowing to one spot behind Mikey. All this flesh is reassembling into a form. The two bits of zombie that had fallen to the ground combined together. This awful hybrid of the two creatures rises 7 foot tall, 4-armed zombie, creaks up behind Mikey.
Mikey, look out!
Lawrence, you watch that shit happen. Give me a wisdom saving throw
God damn it.
for your sanity.
I am so good at these. That's a 9.
That's a 9. You failed again.
It's failed. I failed again.
Roll me a d8.
Guys, I don't think Lawrence is going to make it.
That's a 1 for the D8.
That could be a good thing.
You've only failed 2 saves so far, but the first one you rolled,
I rolled a max damage, yeah.
yeah, max, and this one you rolled a min damage on, so you're not doing terrible. Your mind is shaken a little bit as you watch like these two forms combine together to make something unnatural and unholy. And you yell out to Mikey.
Actually, I'd say it shocked me so much I can't even say it. I'm doing the...
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
What is it? What'd you see? You see something? Right behind me. Do you see it? Well, I think I'll turn around very slowly.
Well, speaking of turning around very slowly, Mikey, that is your turn.
Do I see it?
Yeah, it's a good question.
You're looking at Lawrence. He's looking over your shoulder and pointing and doing the You heard unholy cracking noise. Yes, you know something's behind you. In that moment in a horror movie where like you know something's behind you but you haven't turned around to look at it yet.
All right, I'm gonna slowly look at it and just go like, "Oh shit!" and then I'm gonna fly immediately over here. This is where the that's where these guys are. Wait, let me see. Nope, right about there.
You could also just fly straight up.
I want to get away from it. I don't like that thing.
So it lunges at you. It's not quite used to its new body yet. It just kind of stumbles and then leaps in your direction as your big wings unfurl, propel you backwards across the pond to the other side, right by where the 3 zombies are attacking Norma Bear.
Yeah, at least those things are doable. They're tiny. I'm just gonna hit this fucker with 2 Eldritch Blasts.
So anyways, I start
So
blasting.
you're shooting the big guy that just went after you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to, but now I am. It's 21 and 17. Or is that the one I was supposed to click?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, because I think Eric, you put it in caps, all caps, so I know that that's the right one.
Both of those will hit, so you can roll damage.
10 and 9.
So you got 10 and 9, so 19 total damage. And you slam into this big ass fucking zombie. It hits one of its extra arms, one of your Eldritch Blasts, and just kind of rends it off as it falls to the ground. It's still moving a little bit, trying to climb its way back up onto the bigger zombie. And then another Eldritch Blast rips into its torso. 19's a decent amount of damage.
I think that's all I'm gonna do with my turn.
Gotcha. That would bring us to Norma Bear.
Time to start mauling stuff with my bear thing. I'm looking at the damage, so I'm gonna go for the bite on the one that I attacked last time with a 17 to hit.
That'll hit. That'll melt him.
Indeed, and then I'll go for the one to my left. The Rougarou is helping me with these other 2 guys. He's got my back on them, so I'm gonna go for the one that's isolated. 17 to hit for 9 slashing.
That'll hit as well. You bite down into the one that you had been attacking, the one that was a short, stout skeleton, and rip it in half. You turn to the left of you, go to throw a giant bear claw at it, and you slash across its chest, leaving a giant wound as coagulated blood drips out. Not dead, but you dealt a nice chunk of damage to it.
I will yield the remainder of my time.
Ooh, excellent. So after you, this group of zombies that had pulled itself out of the water a little bit to the north of you starts to all shamble towards you guys. Not going to quite get there yet. The zombies are all starting to make their ways downtown.
Shambling
walking
fast, my life is past tense.
That'll bring us back to Lawrence.
That is me again. Oh, man. I wish I had studied this move like I had studied my first one. You know what? I think I'm just going to cast Fireball. My last level 3 spell, range 150 feet. Yeah, I'm dropping it right here on these guys. It's a radius of 20 feet. So it should be able to hit all 4, yeah.
So you're basically able to hit all 4 zombies that are shambling towards you guys.
That's 33 damage.
Alright, we're going to do some dex saves on zombies. DC 16. Any zombie that fails is dead. And that's just the way it is.
Let's hope they didn't stretch.
Yeah, let's hope the zombies didn't do a good stretching routine.
They don't strike me as cardio people. Oh, meets it, beats it.
That one went to leg neck.
Meets it, beats it. Got 1.
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi. Alright, so 1 did its calisthenics this morning.
There should be one more.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn.
-1. He actually got bigger from it.
So the one zombie definitely rolls out of the way. It's confusing.
This is a sprinter.
It still takes half damage, which at 16
16.
is probably pretty close to still killing it.
It still gets its legs blown off in the explosion as it definitely leaps away. It's just going to be a crawling corpse.
What I did was flip open Winston again, and I arch it back and I launch a fireball out of his mouth.
We're gonna have to talk about how long you've been holding back on us.
I've been saving spell slots for so long.
Like the whole campaign.
Yeah, but now I have to take a long rest.
I thought your coolest thing was that you had a gun. Now you got a book that's even better than your gun.
They can talk too.
That's right. Winston is way cooler than Lawrence is.
That
He's an ancient arcane spirit.
is pretty cool. I will agree.
You guys should consider getting rid of Lawrence and just keeping Winston
Yeah.
in the group.
Hey, Eric, we'll talk about that.
We'll have Rougarou with Winston.
Oh, yeah. Just give him your book.
No? No, I
Just
think
kidding.
we're okay. I think we're okay.
No, actually, take his scimitar. Nah, he's too cool with it.
I definitely could not use the scimitar.
Yeah.
Oh, I see somebody trampling up to me.
Yep. Sorry, big guy. Lawrence casts out his fireball spell.
Oh, can I use my movement?
You son of a bitch. All right, move.
Is this difficult terrain or anything?
Nope, you're good to go.
I'm moving 30 feet to the left.
Sounds good.
Sorry.
You've only cursed somebody else.
I'll allow it.
I will.
The giant zombie originally was going to pursue Lawrence, but Lawrence has, in the background, throwing fireballs and running.
I knew it was going to be me.
He shambles across here. If I'd gone and attacked Rougarou, it would have just made Ryan even happier. He would have gotten everything he wanted out of that scenario.
Can't reward his behavior.
I have to punish him by attacking his friends. The giant zombie shambles across the pond towards Mikey. Mikey had jumped across with his wings and landed as he was observing Norman take out one of the zombies and Lawrence throw a fireball. The giant zombie gets all the way across up to Mikey, pick up its arm that he had shot off, and swings it like a weapon towards Mikey. It's a 15 feet your armor class.
Yes.
Is it a Mitsubishi?
Mitsubishi.
No, mine is only 14.
Gotcha. So
How does that coat work that I got? I don't see its description.
You also just took the shield spell.
I did take the shield spell. But isn't that coat something that has to be done as a reaction?
So the coat's a reaction. You still take the damage, but it basically gives you a hellish rebuke, but it's a cold hellish rebuke.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to use your bonus action from your next turn to also misty step away.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I don't know why I don't see that in my description, but okay. Oh wait, did you? Oh, you gave me the Code of Cania. I found it.
Yeah, I think it's in your notes.
It's in my notes.
It's in my nose.
I'm absolutely expending one of those.
It's going to swing into you, and it is going to hit you with its arm for 11 damage.
All right.
And then you can use your Coat of Cania, which I believe gives you... How many D8 does it roll?
4d6.
4d6 cold damage.
15 dex.
On a 15 dex. Oh, great. These zombies are great at dex. Alright, so it failed the dex save, so you can roll your 4d6.
Ooh, that's not a bad roll.
That's 44.
Damn. That's a worse roll.
I'm sorry, I correct.
We'll keep the 13.
Okay, thank you.
This big zombie comes up, using its severed arm, swings at you, and just blasts you in the shoulder with this thing. It breaks up, shoots fucking gore everywhere, black bile, maggots raining down. The coat lights up a brilliant otherworldly blue, and ice spikes generate off the coat and pierce into this zombie, dealing 13 cold damage to him. As the crystals kind of break, there's this shattering Final Fantasy style Shiva summon of ice particles going everywhere, and Mikey's gone as he reappears across the swamp in another spot, now behind Lawrence.
I could do this all day.
I could do this all day, Lawrence. Yeah, I'm not taking any more blows for you.
But we are both long-range persons, so this isn't terrible.
The Final Fantasy reference gave me dopamine.
After that zombie, that giant zombie, it is Rougarou's turn. He is going to attack the one that he had been restraining from Norman with a claw. and a scimitar. The claw will miss, but the scimitar will hit for 9 slashing damage.
Does he do a cool like twirly move? So he like slashes and swings at the same time.
Rougarou goes to slash through with his claw, overextends and kind of spins out, pulls his machete off of his little holster on his side, and using the momentum, slashes through one of the legs. The leg falls to the floor. The zombie wobbles and falls, now only having one leg to balance itself. And the order is turning over. But again, you guys hear in the woods whispers. And Lawrence, you feel the same raising of hair on the back of your neck stands on end. And you watch as the pile of zombies that you had just blown up with a fireball turns and twists, becomes a vortex of guts and bones and flesh. You watch as, again, they start to reassemble, but this time it takes less of a human form, and instead it has more of a bulky, beefy, monstrous form. It's huge. It's bigger than the giant zombie that you had just seen form. Everybody give me wisdom saves.
That's funny too. I could already tell where you were going with that.
Oh boy, I have to beat a DC 12 now. That's a 16.
Yep.
18.
Mikey passes. See if Rougarou's got one in him. 17 from the Rougarou.
Now we can all say
right.
we have seen this shit before.
Yep. It's on a bigger scale than the giant zombie was, but you guys have seen this shit. Imagine a golem, but it's made of fucking fleshy bits and carnage.
My favorite.
You guys see this, it's tough to describe, a beam of ultralight, not light at all, the negativity of light. It's like this darkness. The only way I could describe it is kind of like the dark saber.
Mm-hmm.
This beam comes flying out, ringed in a slight faint glow of purplish white. It blasts into the polar bear known as Norman.
Oh?
Norman, you feel the strength drain from your bear form. You have been enfeebled. On a successful DC 14 con save, you can shake it. Until then, all your attacks that use strength would deal half damage.
And when do I make that save, at the beginning or end of my turn?
At the beginning of your turn.
Q.
So you're essentially dealing half damage right now. You guys watch as this beam strikes into Norman, and you watch him become almost emaciated in his bear form. You see his ribs start to appear. Fur looks patchy and sad.
Climate change.
This is what they were warning us about. The ice caps!
Oh no, Norman, the other bear looked meaner. You should switch back to that one. No, this one's all scraggly, yeah.
Mikey, that brings us to your turn.
I was gonna ask, because we tie, is that the order set in stone, or can I get, hey Eric, go first? Because he's dying right now.
I would allow you guys to switch it up, since you guys are occupying essentially the same spot, if you would like to let Norman go before you.
I would like to relinquish, just so he can get the fuck out of there.
But 21 Constitution save, so I'm completely fine.
You guys watch as he shakes the spell off. His fur stand back on end as he reinflates.
Sickly and weak, I rise up and do a mighty start biting and clawing into both the guys next to me. I'm doing one towards each. 6 and 10, so 6 to the left of me, 10 to the right. Here I am, slaying everything in the middle with them.
I knew that was coming. The 10 will finish the zombie that you and Rougarou had been working on together. And the 6 will basically, he's going to be on death's door, claws down into the one that Rougarou had slashed through, hair right through it in half, and then you turn and just bite the other one. You rip off its shoulder and send an arm flying into the water.
I'm gonna then use my bonus action to activate the glasses of Lyra. I have one mirror image, and then I'm going to make myself more of a target for the multi-armed Morningstar monstrosity to my right. I guess technically it's an undead, but I'm calling it a monstrosity in a more literal term.
Yeah. After you guys, it's the zombies that you had been that the little guy that was right around you there, and the other one crawls its way towards Rougarou, and both of these guys are just going to be on the ground taking slam attacks at you and Rougarou. 10 won't hit Rougarou, and a 15 I don't think hits you.
Oh, it does. As a bear, I only have 12 armor class.
Oh, all right. Damn. So the zombie crawls up reject bear form and just kind of gnaws into you for 2 damage. After those 2 zombies, you guys see...
Oh, wait, actually, I have a mirror image up.
Oh, you do. It's true.
So you roll a d20 when there's only one mirror image up, 11 or higher.
You roll, not me, right?
Sure. I think that part's a little less important. 10, so it was not 11 or higher. So I guess that means it hits the image, right?
Yep.
And then the image goes away, and I'm just like, meh, I avoided 2 damage.
Big move. Big flex. All right, so the zombie instead crawls up. It's right by you, and crawling up looks at the other zombie for a second, then turns around and bites into the bear. Realize it's biting into nothing.
That horrible 2 bludgeoning damage bullet.
After the zombies, this giant golem starts to trudge its way across the swamp all the way to where Rougarou is, and picks its arms up. The faces of people in its arms, everything's just in the wrong spot. Fucking mayhem. It's just body parts everywhere as it slams down twice, hitting Rougarou once
Dodge it, Rugachu!
for 16 bludgeoning damage.
Is that magical?
Is it magical? No.
Then
I mean, technically, it's a creature made of magic.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, I guess it is magical.
What if it wasn't? What were you gonna do?
he can't die from it, at least.
Oh, because he's a werewolf. Gotcha.
That's right.
After that thing's turn, it's Lawrence's turn.
Lawrence is going to be watching Rougarou get smashed in the ground and say, "Oh, that's cool, bro," and then pull out his pistol, shoot a scorching ray into other tall boy, not the one beating on Rougarou.
Gotcha. The already damaged tall boy.
Question, actually, I have a potion of advantage. Is that just for one roll, or...
You could take the potion of advantage. I'll tell you right now, all those hit though.
Okay, I'll take it then. Alright, that's...
Yeah, all these hit, and then whenever you use your potion of advantage, you get to choose whatever roll you use it on.
Gotcha. It's 25 damage then, if all of those hit.
You pull out your gun and just blast out these pure incendiary lines of straight fire erupt from the barrel. You watch them burn giant holes through this big zombie, instantly cauterizing the wounds, but leaving these giant gaping areas of unstructural support. You dealt a decent amount of damage. It is considerably bloody.
I will use the rest of my movement then to go 30 feet to the left again. I can't go 30 feet on the map.
You guys are just in that corner. That's the squishy spellcaster corner now.
That's where we hang out.
I'm the wall of bear.
I'm worried for our friend. Why'd you come right next to me?
I'm technically 10 feet to the left, Brian. I'm moving.
Why would you do that?
I can't move off the map, so...
I know you can't move off the map. You're such a puss. The giant zombie meanders around to the other side of Bear Norman. It is salivating, looking out towards Lawrence. It wants to bite him bad. Lawrence just shot through him, but because the map's not big enough, I'm not going to fight with him anymore. Instead, the giant zombie will bring its giant arm down onto the bear, holding its arm in its arm. A 16 beats the bear's armor class
Ooh.
for 13 bludgeoning damage as he wails down on Bear Norman.
Bear-ass Norman.
And then the giant zombie yields its time.
Respectable.
Respectable. That brings us to Rougarou, being pounded down on by a flesh golem. He has another smaller zombie draped over him. He's going to take a quick claw attack to try to dispose of the smaller zombie, in which he does. And then he's going to take his scimitar attack on the golem. A 15 beats its armor class, and he hits that guy for 6 damage.
You could do better, Rougarou.
I do declare, Lawrence, that I have been absolutely fucking bludgeoned by this thing. I am trying my best. It is incredibly big and right on top of me. Where are you, Lawrence? I heard your voice, but I cannot see you.
I'm 10 feet off the map, Rougarou, like a smart person.
Lawrence, are you a disembodied voice?
I could be. I could be if I wanted to, but I won't.
We believe in you, Rougarou.
Thank you, Mikey.
You guys thought he was so cool.
You are a vision, Mikey.
Only Mikey's in range for me to hear to say, you guys thought he was so cool, too, just because you could track stuff in the wilderness.
Yeah, he was cool because he could.
That brings us back around to the top of the order. It is Mikey and Norman.
I don't really mind if you want to go first.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt the double kill of the basic bitch right in front of me and the less basic Morning Star of its own arm zombie that's trying to gnaw on Larns. As much as I want to let it. I feel like it deserves a win, but not today. That's a 21 to hit the little zombie and an 18 to hit the scarier one.
Right, both those are going to hit. The little guy there's no chance he survives, so
9 damage to both of them.
the bigger zombie is very much so hurt. Not quite there yet, but he is on death's door. Little dude is absolutely obliterated.
And then I'll do the old Defenderooski. I just looped around the zombie to put myself between them and the coward squad. I mean the mages.
The damage dealers.
I just mauled that guy to death and ruined the other guy's day a little bit. This bear in here doing damage.
Bear's doing damage. Lawrence did murk like 7 zombies.
If you guys want to play this game, I will say that he wasted all of his high-level spell slots on the weak guys before the strong guys came out.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, you're right.
Not all of them. I have saved at least one.
But it was cool when it happened. As you can remember back at the beginning, I praised him greatly for doing it.
True.
That's right.
All right, Mikey, what do you got?
Okay.
What do you got for me, Big Mike?
I was gonna ask, what would happen if you use a lightning lure behind a target to pull a target into another target?
That's the thing. You can fly. You can fly right above this guy's head and just pull him towards you, and then rules is written. He is being pulled directly into him.
True.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go right here, and I'm gonna throw out a lightning lure to try to save our good friend the Rougarou over there from that big-ass flesh golem. And I think I'm technically above you right now, but I don't want to put my cursor up, my guy on top of you. But I'm flying above the bear, essentially. Because I gotta occupy the same space as you if I have to make this work. That's kind of what I was getting at earlier.
You can occupy the space 5 feet above him, though.
Exactly. As soon as you said flying, I was like, oh, that fixes everything. I could just fly, so I could occupy the same space as Eric easily. And I'm going to change the lightning lure to no longer do lightning, but thunder.
Ooh.
Because I'm trying it out.
All right.
So I whip out my chain, I throw it out, and I want to try to hook onto that bastard in the back.
Go for it.
Bam. 16.
Damn! Max damage.
Flesh Golem needs to make a strength save.
Yes. Or he pulled 10 feet towards me, and if he fucking makes it,
He rolls a 7. That will not save. So you get to pull him 10 feet in a straight line toward you. All right, so he's taking 16 thunder damage, and then he's being pulled into this other one.
That's up to you at this point. I didn't read it before we were talking about it. It says it pulls him 10 feet, which would just put him right here. So that doesn't actually cause him to try to enter that space.
oh, that is true, but it does pull it away from our good friend the Root, and it groups them both together.
It's still great for a bunch of reasons, even though it doesn't get the cool collision anymore.
Yeah.
Did you want to on this top spot or in this bottom spot here?
I like that bottom spot.
Bam, he's there. Do me a favor, roll an extra d8 because he is just an assembled creature.
2.
Parts of him just blast off as this concussive whip wraps around him and pulls him towards you. Your chain has vibrating field around it. It's just shredding his, there's no other way to call it, but giblets. Essentially, they just
I'm gonna vibrate your giblets.
will vibrate your giblets right on off.
I'm gonna vibrate your giblets, motherfucker.
Buy the T-shirt from the merch store.
But he takes a total of 18 damage from that. That brings us to the golem's turn. You have pulled him away from the Rougarou and right on to you guys. He stumbles over and goes to take 2 slam attacks on Mikey.
And that's still shieldable, though.
All right, so the 12 won't hit, but he does roll a 16.
And yes, Eric is right. I do want to shield. Yeah, I have already used my turn where I don't have my. Yeah.
Yes, that turn's passed. Has it?
Yeah, because I've moved.
Well, that was a bonus action. This is a reaction. This isn't the same turn since your last reaction. It removes your bonus action from the next turn, right?
Oh,
Not
yeah,
your reaction.
yeah, it removes your
Oh,
bonus
that's
action,
correct.
not your
So
reaction.
even if it was that turn, this would not apply to the shield spell.
True, yep.
All right, so I give myself a +5 bonus to AC.
Until the start of your next turn. So that
Yeah.
while you're in the spot up front here, you're now at +5 AC. And you're immune to the magic missile spell.
Damn.
It's the only counter magic missile.
Son of a bitch. All these zombies know magic missile.
They're very dexterous and they know magic missile.
The perfect zombie.
Wizard zombies. So that does not hit Mike.
Nice.
And after the golem, it is Lawrence's turn.
Oh, hang on, I'm doing some measuring.
I see you're using the rules thing that none of us really knew until I watched that video where it was like, you can technically target the intersection of tiles.
Well, because I always thought that should be true. I don't like living on a grid, and as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, okay, well then everything's open.
Listen, Mike, if you don't like living on the grid, you need to move out to the woods, alright?
I'm fine with that.
So, without snapping, I can actually these 2 constructs without hitting Mikey. But with snapping, I have no option.
Alright, I'm fine with you doing it without snapping. Do you hit the Rougarou too, though?
No, it's only a 10-foot radius, so it does not hit the Rougarou, but it only hits these 2 constructs at the right angle.
Technically, you could also say you're casting it like at the ground, and Mikey's in the air, so he'd be further away from it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll allow that. I'll allow it.
Oh, but also remember, I was occupying the space.
You
technically
don't allow
over there.
shit. I allow the things.
All right, I'm casting it there where I don't hit Mikey and I don't hit the Rougarou.
Alright,
Eric, does it check out?
what are you casting?
I'm casting Shatter. 3d8.
Eric, you checking it out?
Yeah, I'm checking it out.
Remember, I'm not actually there. I'm further away than that. So you gotta use your
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
and think.
yeah, that's right. That's right. He's
Yep.
Like
technically over.
Like he's technically above.
Yep. I'm technically
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you're technically above me. So, I mean, right here, like, yeah, it's so easy to just say, like, I just cast it slightly further down to the right than this, so as to not destroy the Rougarou as well.
I mean, I'm okay with hitting the Rougarou though. So
We're not though. We like him.
I'm more okay with you hitting me, because I'm not even taking actual damage right now. I'm just...
Why do you think I'm in the fight now? I'm trying to prevent the guy from dying.
I'm casting this at 2nd level. It's only 7 damage.
That was a lot of build up for 7 damage.
Oh Jesus. That's true.
Hey, it's under damage though, so
Yeah, that's true.
Hey.
Alright, so roll me 2 d8s.
ooh, 2d8s.
Well, 1 for each of them.
Okay, that is a 1 and a 1.
Oh my God.
Alright, so they both take 8 damage. That was so much to get 8 damage.
Really brings it all together.
Double ones.
There's not much left of the big zombie. He is just riddled with holes, crawling on the ground, missing a leg. The flesh golem looks like he still has a little bit of life to him.
What I do is clap Winston closed, and it sends out a thunder wave that goes around the polar bear and the goat man and hits both of them, the zombies.
Wanted style.
Wanted. Yes, I'm curving my thunder waves.
Nice. Makes a lot of sense. All right, so with that,
Oh, hey, hang on. I still have my movement. I move 50.
you're 70,000 feet off screen.
I move 15 feet off screen.
Oh, no, he actually did.
The giant zombie crawls over towards Bear Norman.
I just want to remind you that he's put himself really far away from the rest of us,
Oh, I know he has.
and we won't be able to help him super quick.
I'll just Misty Step or Thunder Step.
So the giant zombie has pulled itself over to Norman. It can't reach Mikey because it's kind of been like crumpled to the ground. That one morning star is not going to hit. Blindly swings out with its one loose arm and misses Norman. That brings us to the Rougarou. He comes running back over now to help. Mikey comes in with his classic claw scimitar combo.
You can never land both.
Then that one, it becomes a 6, not going to hit. The Rougarou is passionate about trying to help Mikey because Mikey helped. He really is missing with the claw.
I'm telling you, you gotta do the spin move. You have your hands extended outwards like a T pose, and you're swinging the sword in your claw.
I'll try spinning. That's a good move.
Yeah, right?
No one can hear you. You're too far off screen.
Yeah.
I'm only 35 feet off screen.
He's keeping track of it perfectly.
I have.
Speaking of 35 feet off screen, we're back up to the top of the order. Lawrence, can you give me a perception check?
Is it a smell?
Nope.
Okay. 18.
Is it a smell? I love that
18.
question.
It's important when you're an animal person.
Is it a smell?
I have one question for you, DM. Is it a smell?
Alright, so with an 18, you feel a presence around you, a charge in the air. You are far away from the gang, standing out off by a tree.
35 feet away.
Yeah, you're 35 feet away. You're out in the woods. You're not near either of these two zombies. Do you remember in the battle when Norman got blasted with a black beam of dark light?
Yeah.
Were you still on screen enough to see that?
I don't think so. Remind me.
All right, he got blasted out of the middle of the woods by a black beam of light. I'm gonna need you.
To get blasted by that black beam of light.
Oh no, this is not the black beam of light. This smells incredibly familiar to a spell that you casted earlier. You hear a crack of lightning. I'm gonna need you to give me a dex saving throw. Beat a 16.
I got 11.
Oh, you got an 11. You feel a lightning bolt rip into your body, electricity coursing through your veins, that burnt smell of hair. And you are going to take...
Can I use my reaction to roll silvery barbs to roll this again?
Yes, you can.
14. Still fail.
Still fails. Lawrence, you're getting ripped, buddy. You take 30 damage from this lightning bolt as it pins you into a tree. You trace back to where it came from, and you see this straight, clear path through the woods where it has burned its way through. Standing at the end of this path is this skinny, old-looking, pale, ragged, odd proportions. This woman is like standing at the end of this line, staring at you. Long black hair draped over its face. These glowing yellow eyes. This long crooked nose. These long spindly, almost like spider arms that come off of her. Still smoking from having cast the spell. She stares at you. There's a scream. And then she runs off into the woods.
I'm curious, how did my ring feel during that?
Your ring did not feel any different except for conducting electricity.
And have I seen Norman's normal form?
Norman has described it, but he's never failed any of the checks, so you guys have not seen his Rorschach face. Without you having seen it, couldn't tell you if that's what this face was like at all, if that's what you're trying to imply.
He did technically tell me about it, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Oh, you made it quite clear you didn't pay any attention when I
Yeah.
confessed everything.
Can I roll an intelligence check to remember?
Yeah, if you roll in that 20, you actually absorbed all that information Norman gave you.
I got a 16.
All you remember is me and you talking to each other while he was doing it.
I remember he was talking to me about something.
All right. You don't remember that conversation. You just watched a crazy, creepy, pale, pasty, weird looking lady blast you with a lightning bolt, scream, and then run back into the woods. And she moved in such an unnatural way. I'm going to need you to give me a wisdom save.
Oh boy. Meets it, beats it, 12.
Beats it, baby. You're fine.
Yeah.
You look at that and you're like, I've seen Norman do weirder.
Wow, as soon as I get blasted, I just do with the snarl. Just, I'm about to go after, like, my ring's going off, but I take 2 steps forward and I see the shambling mound still around Norman and Mikey, ignoring Rougarou, and I decide to focus on that instead.
Cool. Mikey and Norman, it is your guys' turns.
I've got to start by just bearing out on the Morning Star hand one in front of me.
I think that's a good idea, and then I can react to whatever happens.
9 hits. Why don't you roll that damage?
13 piercing damage.
All right, Morningstar is dead. Finish him, Norman.
He's swinging around that Morning Star. I just slap it out of his hand and rip the whole top section of like the shoulder and neck head region off and throw it to the ground.
Ah, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So Mikey's flying in the air. I'm going to slide underneath him and just go in for a double claw into the big golem one for a 17 to hit.
Fucking right. Let's say he's pretty flanked. He's got Rougarou on him. Mikey's above him with advantage.
In that case, that's a crit. And I got 6 additional slashing damage for 16 total damage from the claws.
All right, you
Sliding bear claw!
You slide in there and slash at one of his legs, sever it right above the knee. He starts to slide down towards the ground, his legs trying to stitch itself back together in real time. The sinews are trying to reattach themselves. The bits of muscle that were never attached are trying to tie themselves off. He's not falling straight to the ground. Mikey, it is your turn.
It's only the one guy left, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I will not do the one thing I was going to do. And, I mean, fuck it. I'm just going to start blasting.
Yeah.
So anyways, I start blasting. Bam, bam.
Ooh, yeah.
Both those Eldritch Blasts hit.
5 and 13.
Oof. You blast into him. It leaves giant holes. You shoot off the spot where his leg was trying to rebuild itself. He falls all the way down to one arm and one leg. You put another hole in his shoulder. You see his arm trying to reattach itself. He is in rough shape. The magic's barely holding all of this gore together. That would bring us to the golem's turn. He is on death's door. He's got Norman to one side of him. He just attacked him, slid past him. He's got Rougarou to the other. Mikey's in the air, flapping above him, raining down eldritch blasts. And the flesh golem looks up towards the sky and lets out this terrible roar, rips itself down the middle, and slams down on either side of it into both Norman and Rougarou.
That is not what I expected. I would call that a self-imposed wisdom save. I expected it killed itself.
No one knows what it did, but I take that hit.
Rougarou does as well. Norman, you take 12 damage. Rougarou takes 14. And Lawrence, your self-imposed sanity check after watching the golem rip itself in half.
I got a 6.
You failed, so roll me a d8.
That's a 2. Drops me down to 79.
We're making our way downtown.
Walking fast.
You're now at DC 13 for your sanity checks. This golem is split in half. You still see the two sides of it wriggling. Lawrence, it is your turn.
Okay, after being distraught by that sight, I can move. I'm 35 feet off screen, so I can move 30 feet back.
So now you're 65 feet off screen.
No, I'd be
5 feet off screen?
5 feet off screen, yes. I'm going to load up my special bullet that lets me do firebolt twice. I've got one more of those left, and I'm going to shoot firebolt twice at this guy.
Shoot for the moon.
19 and 17.
Both those hit.
That is 22 fire damage.
All right. Lawrence, describe to me how you finish this off.
All these guys are beating down on it, and Lawrence, who's been off screen the whole time, does a useless slide to do 2 pistol shots into this thing's face, even though he's like 30 feet away.
These 2 red-hot bullets burst into the 2 split sides of its face, both sides of them pounding down into Rougarou and Bearman. It catches this thing, just lights it immediately on fire. The magic starts to dissipate. All of the muscle and gore separates from the main body and immediately becomes a giant pile of meat on fire, falling to the ground. Everybody's laying bloodied and nothing's moving in the swamp. There's small fires raging all over the place where bile is burning. There's corpses hanging from trees, bits of people all over the place. The group of you finally laying down on the forest floor, catching your breath. As Lawrence stumbles back, there's still smoke and ash coming off of him. You see his suit's been burnt and torn. It's slowly repairing itself.
It's also muddy because I did imagine a baseball player unnecessarily sliding into home base.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I'm completely covered in mud, but I'm also using prestidigitation to clean us all up, so everyone can look nice.
And you guys have survived this battle with these zombies. That thing escaped into the woods that shot Lawrence, but for a moment, you guys have peace in the dark swamp as the rain beats down on you.
Well, is anyone else tired? I feel like a quick catnap. I wish I had catnap, but I don't.
Oh, that would be great. We take a 10-minute short rest, bing, bam, boom. But I feel like if we stop to rest, that thing's just going to get further and further away.
Isn't a short rest you don't have to actually sleep?
Yeah.
You don't sleep, you just take
Okay.
an hour and then you get to roll hit die.
Well, I was gonna say then, like, you want to take a nap here in the swamp?
Well, I mean, I would probably get under one of those trees and like read my book for an hour or something.
Okay. Cause like, yeah, I wouldn't be sleeping. Like the shit that crawls up out of that mud alone. Ugh.
I saw the zombies.
I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about nematodes.
No, Lawrence knows what nematodes are.
I barely know what they are.
A Nemo, what?
I'm going to turn
Aren't they
back
like-
into a person.
Aren't they like toads that look like clownfish?
No, that's
Right,
but that's what I would just
they're
as
not
feasible.
Nemo. They're not Nemo toads. Gotcha. If you guys short rest here, you are allowing this hand vine that you were chasing possibly to go even further away, because you're gonna basically chill here for an hour. So, in that sense, I'd like everybody to give me perception checks.
I got a 17.
That one. Can't win them all.
What was it? Perception?
Yep.
Dang. 10.
Rougarou, pull us through.
All right, so Norman, you are going through the process of morphing from a polar bear back into a man in a suit. So you are a bit distracted. Mikey, you are landing from being airborne. You had been over top of everybody as the battle had ended. So you don't notice this either. But Lawrence at first stops and hears a rustling noise a little bit further across the swamp, maybe 30 yards away or so. And as he looks in that direction, Rougarou is already running that way, having heard it just a second before Lawrence. He's able to start moving in the direction and yells out to you guys, "Gentlemen, I do think it's still here. I can smell it. I can smell the blood still. I can smell the werewolf."
I usually disagree with Rougarou, but he is right. There's something still here.
I'm going to start moving in the direction Rougarou pointed. I would like to, now that I'm a person again, I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace on all of us.
Oh, snap. I'm going to ready a firebolt.
All right, cool. Norman, how does the Pass Without Trace look on everybody?
Oh, we all got ghillie suits on, baby.
Oof, I love it.
Bringing back the ghillie suits. Guys, wait. Magically, the trees around us start to extend in our direction, and they start to wrap around us, naturally forming the ghillie suit around us. Well, not naturally. Nothing Norman does is natural.
Really extended body features and stretched out proportions. Has to give everything a slight Slenderman feel.
Yeah, it feels festive.
All right, so as you guys are covered with swamp moss and old man's beard, these are actual swamp plants. Rougarou is surprised at first as the trees reach out towards him and wrap him. "Dear God, what is this? Be gone, Satan!
No, it's okay, Rougarou. These are...
The trees are coming for us!"
No. You're familiar with Pass Without Trace. This is just my little flavor of it.
Oh, all right. Maybe next time, get a bit of a heads up ahead of time. We are chasing some variety of moving, like, devil vine.
Yeah, but now we'll do it stealthily and in style.
Rougarou becomes silent as the night.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check and get a 17, and then, even though I'm in human form, I'm just gonna go to all fours and just start charging forward.
I feel like Norman does one of those weird halfway transformation things where it's not a full wild shape use. He just is able to take on kind of, what is the movie with McAvoy when he's got all the personalities?
Yeah.
Beast?
Split. Yeah, he's
Split. So when he becomes the beast and his body cracks and contorts for him to be able to run on all fours fast, Norman does that kind of.
Yeah, they stole that from me.
They stole that from Norman.
See, they couldn't even do it as well. They made a bunch of noise and bone cracking stuff. I just do it.
Yeah. Norman does it without any bone cracking, and that's even fucking weirder.
If anyone saw that Charlie Sheen movie where the kid's legs at the very end go backwards,
Yep,
Oh,
I did. That scene sucks so hard. That was the ending of the movie, and you're like, that's it?
Rougarou, after watching Norman do that, decided to self-sanity check. He passed, so we're good. But
like I said at the beginning, let's show them who the real horror movie monsters are.
I am missing about 20 hit points right now.
You could just have a potion.
I believe you got blasted for like, it was 32, but you saved, so I think you took like 16 fucking damage or something like that.
I had turned into a werewolf earlier in that session, and I got the 10 hit points. It was my first time giving them to me.
Whenever you turn into a wolf, you get those 10 hit points.
I do have a greater healing potion.
Well, then drink one.
Yeah, I'll drink one too.
44 plus 4.
I got 13.
Plus 4 is 17.
I also got 17.
Boom.
You got the same roll as me.
Yeah, I did.
Greater healing potion, brothers! High five!
High five.
Mikey channels the power of the Tanuki triplets without even realizing it
Oh
as
no.
he chugs back the potion that they prepared for him.
It just made him a little more zanier.
Fuck. Zanier's fine, but they gotta be less bubbly.
I'm gonna activate the glasses of Lyra. I have 2 mirror images with a 17 stealth check, 2 mirror images, and I'm a horrifying bent over crawly person.
I'd like sanity checks from Mikey and Lawrence as well now. There's now 3 absolute humanoid monsters covered in moss on the ground. They're all Norman.
I got a 22.
That'll pass.
That's a wisdom?
Yep.
Save or check?
Save.
19.
19, both you guys pass. You guys have seen Norman turn into a half goat, half wolf creature before. So this is in the bag. This is not off cuff for Norman.
I lift my finger up like I'm gonna say something. And I open my mouth and then, nah. And I just don't say anything.
Guys, you're looking at me kind of funny. We had a talk about this, remember? Back during the Yeti investigation?
Is he talking to you or me?
I thought he was talking to Rougarou, honestly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he is.
Which, don't answer him.
Gentlemen, the swamp is full of some scary shit. It is now full of some even scarier shit with you guys inside of it.
Thank you.
You are not welcome. But also welcome at the same. I don't know how to deal with you at the moment.
None do.
Gentlemen, with haste, please. You guys are running through the underbrush, jumping over puddles, bones floating, and you see in front of you that vine. It almost looks like a tendon, a vein pulsing, and on the very end of it is this arm. Still clutched in its grasp is these werewolf entrails as this vine's pulled backwards through the ferns. It recedes into the woods, and you all give chase. Let me get an initiative roll from everybody.
It's almost the name of the thing.
21.
I got a 3.
I got a 4.
Oh, this is all me.
All right. And let me roll for Rougarou really quick. Mikey, you are going to act first. You are still a little bit of ways away, but you are close enough that you could do a number of things. You could dive down towards it and try to grab it. You could try to shoot at it as it swerves and slides through the underbrush. It's kind of up to you. I will say that if you're going to try to attack it with a spell or shoot at it, it's going to be with disadvantage because it's moving through so much cover and moving so quickly. If you'd like to do an athletics check or an acrobatics check of some variety to fly down and try to grab onto it and stop its momentum, that would be at regular roll because you're like actually controlling yourself as you go down onto it.
The hand or the
You could aim for the tentacle or the vine thing that's attached to the hand as well. It's all just kind of one. Think of it as like one long snake, and you can't see the ass end.
Hi, Steinberg and Steinberg, rules lawyer at your service. I just want to once again point out that this man has like a 240-foot range with Eldritch Blast and ignores up to 3/4 cover because of his spell sniper feat.
Yeah, he's spell sniper feat.
This man can shoot
All right.
things from like ridiculous distances and ignore cover. You know, you can just say it's because it's just moving fast still, but I just feel like it's my job as an advocate for everything being accounted for or against us, that should just be brought to the forefront.
Yeah, I guess I will take that argument. With a spell sniper feat, if you want to shoot at it, I would say it's regular, straight up then.
That's what I pay you for. Well, what I was thinking of particularly wasn't Eldritch Blast, it was Lightning Lure, which yanks the person back, which is kind of my thought process. But I didn't actually think, does Spell Sniper apply to that?
Sorry, can you rewind that for a sec?
Yeah.
I like faded off into my own world 2 seconds there and it came back in the middle of your sentence.
I just imagine Eric's like in his own world where he's like dressed up like that anime lawyer guy, like that Phoenix Wright or whatever it is.
I was
And Eric's
picturing
just
myself as like a
Eric's just
lawyer.
imagining
Oh my
himself
god.
in court, just like, and you have to let my client shoot now.
I wasn't quite Phoenix, right? But basically.
The spell I was thinking of was Lightning Lure, which
That's a save. It's not a attack roll.
what?
It's a save, not an attack roll. Spell Sniper would not affect it.
So it doesn't affect the distance.
Let me double check. When you cast a spell attack roll, yeah, when you cast a spell that requires you to make an attack roll, the spell's range is doubled.
And this is not that, correct?
And this is
This is just a saving throw.
or be pulled up 10 feet. So yes, it is just a save. All right.
I am sorry.
It would be the most effective thing though to yank it back.
Well, he did say you could get close enough to try to grab it, which to me sounds like you can get close enough to be within 10 or 15 feet of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to fly down close to this thing and then use your chain wrap it up your chain blades, that'd be a cool way to do it.
It's moving super fast under the water, snaking around like a goddamn anaconda through the marshy swamp. You can imagine I'm flying above it. You can just see like the shadow of my profile flying above the water, catching up with this thing swimming underneath the water, and I just fucking launch out a chain to try to hook it like a goddamn fish. 14's DC 15.
T15. Alright, give me a second here. We'll be editing this part out because Brian's taking a while.
Oh!
Holy shit! 25, 25.
Alright, so here's what happens.
Oh no.
Oh!
Oh no.
You land and your chain blade whips around this tentacle.
It's actually a hook at the end.
Alright, gotcha. Your hook sinks into this tentacle. You feel it really fucking sink in there. It gains purchase. You've hooked into things of flesh before. You've hooked into wood. You've hooked into bone, demon skin. You've fought a lot of fucking shit. This hooks in, and you feel that familiar pop of skin tearing, and then it hooking into wood, the hardwood. It feels like it's not a bone. You don't feel a brittleness to the texture. Your feet have dug into the swampy earth, and then they're no longer in the swampy earth. You are flying through the fucking air into the woods a little ways away from everyone. Your chain comes off, it dehooks and stays in your hand as it flatters through the wind, and you catch yourself with your wings a little distance out. You don't take any variety of damage. You were thrown a good 30 feet away before you were able to stop yourself. The only saving grace you had in that was that you were able to slow it down just a little bit while it had to take the time to stop and whip you off. But you haven't felt strength like that since fighting in the pits of hell. You haven't felt that kind of strength from any creature or cryptid you've come across in your travels and your cases yet.
Ugh. Okay, that thing is a lot bigger or stronger than I thought it was. Holy shit! And I'm gonna flap backwards and try to like catch back up with everybody else that's been slower than me, especially by the 30 feet that I've been launched.
Rougarou immediately takes this opportunity that Mikey's given you guys to leap across the clearing and try to jump on the vine and hold it down himself.
Rougarou.
With a 22 strength check, Rougarou's able to pull out his machete and jump across the clearing and drive it into the vine, trying to cut it off. You hear metal hitting something harder, and he jumps on top of the vine and proceeds to claw into the ground, grabbing hold of roots and rock as he's just ferally trying to stop this thing from moving.
Oh, he's probably covered in nematodes.
Oh, so many nematodes.
So many nematodes in that mud.
That brings us to Norman.
Hold on, I gotta look up what a nematode is because no one's ever explained it.
Oh, they just turn into one.
They ruined SpongeBob's house.
Oh my god. It's a roundworm.
I guess.
Oh god, he's covered in roundworms.
A nematode are a very small, slender worm. When you type in nematode, it redirects you to the phrase roundworms, and I'm seeing some horrifying looking images. So anyway, having that said, it is my turn. Rougarou is trying to hold this vine down. I don't want to burn anything super valuable for shenanigans, but I feel like I gotta help this Rougarou out. I'm just gonna run over and primal savagery the vine itself.
Roll me an attack roll.
That's a 21 on the attack roll.
21 hits. You don't have to roll any variety of damage.
Oh, I did. It's 15.
And this is acid, correct?
Yeah.
There's already an open wound there. You're looking at some layer of skin with gore underneath, glistening, pearly white hardwood grain. You hear sizzling, and in the distance, you almost feel it more than you hear it, but there's this rumble and this low shockwave that almost pops and pierces your eardrums, and you psychically hear this scream, this out in the distance. It shakes you right down to your cores. Let me get some wisdom saves.
Oh, I can feel it. 21.
You're safe.
I got a 12, I believe, my wisdom.
Uh-oh.
I don't remember.
You're on a 13, my man, so that's a fail.
Ah, fudge.
Yeah, Rougarou.
Roll me a d8.
2.
Oh, do you need one for me?
Yes, sir.
11.
Uh-oh.
11, that's a fail as well. Roll me a d8.
I'm at 77 of 90.
5.
Leave. Mikey, you should be at 77 as well.
Yep.
Twins!
Hey, Sanity Brothers! High five!
You got the same healing, the same sanity.
Your guys' DCs are now 14. They are going to stay that way for the next 2 fails. You're not feeling crazy yet, but there's a certain paranoia this swamp's starting to cause to you guys. Everything is out to get you, because quite frankly, so far it has been.
Yeah, I've already felt that this whole time.
Do I still feel comfort in my friends?
You still feel comfort in your friends. You just feel you are nervous about a lot of things in the swamp. Not enough to make you run from anything.
Gotcha.
Norman turns to you in a very unnatural, unnerving way. He's like, see, we're all in this together.
Please don't.
While you guys noticed that Rougarou was not phased by this sound, you have noticed that over the course of your journey, he has seemed more erratic as you guys have gone along. He's failed a few, and it seems like living in the swamp to begin with doesn't leave you with the best mental state. So, just someone to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, I'm going to kill him soon.
Whoa, buddy. He's so nice. He's so nice.
I know, I saved him.
Rougarou's our friend.
We're bringing him home with us.
Putting him in the menagerie, I'm fine with that, I guess.
I'm kidding. But
Oh, I want to keep him.
Jackson would be thankful. But let's continue on. It is Lawrence's turn.
Lawrence is going to catch up to everyone else, and he's going to transform his shocking grasp into a fiery grasp and try to grab on to the same spot where Eric or Norman cut it open and poured in poison.
Excellent.
So it is a attack spell. Hang on. Stop rushing me. That's a 12.
It's a 12. Unfortunately, a 12 is not going to be enough to affect it. It is a fantastic idea, and it just doesn't quite catch you.
Next time, baby.
With that, we are back up to the top of the order. and Mikey is flying back into the area.
They're trying to hold it down. It's not moving anymore.
It's currently restrained. It is whipping around, and Rougarou's turn is up after you, so he's going to have to make a strength save to retain it in its spot.
Okay, well then I will just reach in my holster and pull out my pendant and just go, and shepherds we shall be, for thee, my lord, for thee. Eldritch Blast twice.
Oh my god, Mark, you got a crit.
27, 25.
Mikey, I'd like you to narrate for me severing this vine.
Alright, so there's all this commotion happening beneath me. I've been above it the whole time, and you just see like my body's stationary, but my wings are just flapping. And then you can just see, while this commotion's happening, this one bright light emanating from my hand, and then just beep, laser beaming right into this fucker.
You remember the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War?
Yes.
This fucking concentrated laser beam blasts into decayed wood, and then shatter explosion. The vine snaps, and you hear that subsonic screech that you all had just heard. In the distance, that's the worst one than the first one. Eric, if you could just put the first one over top of that one. My voice hurt.
Don't worry, it'll sound cool in post.
Now you guys hear this like subsonic, terrifying screech rill through your ears again. Right where you had broken it off at, it almost looks like there's this high tension line snapping, and you hear it. Rest of the vine goes shooting back off into the woods, and the bit with the hand on the end, clutching the werewolf guts, wriggles and flops around a few times underneath Rougarou before falling limp and flat in the dirt. You guys have stopped the werewolf guts from getting back to their location.
Burn them.
While you burn them, can I have Arcana checks from everybody?
I was about to say burn them too, so I love that before I could say that. You're like, while you burn them.
I was actually gonna turn around and start kicking up dirt on top of them.
Bad dog. Bad.
I'm thinking of it like the thing. It's like the thing, dude. We gotta burn them.
You burn them first, then bury them.
22.
We have 19.
Lawrence, with a 19, you can feel the curse being burned away. Mikey, you feel something different. You don't care. That's not that you don't care about the werewolf guts. It's just not of top priority to you. The energy you feel is more closely related to abyssal energy, something of the hell plane. You felt it a little bit before when the lightning bolt had screeched out and hit Lawrence at the end of the battle, and you feel this trail of it leading back maybe 100 yards distance up through the woods where you'd heard that scream erupt from. Pure abyssal energy. Hot, bright, evil flame burns deeper in these woods.
Pelagathos. And maybe I can like faintly see it in my one red eye, almost like a Batman vision. Like it doesn't. I can't actually see it, but I feel it.
Yes, with your 22 Arcana, you see clear vision, this moderate heat signature of this dark abyssal flame, as you see the outline of a tentacle running back to this mass 100 yards deeper into the woods, right through this clearing and into another one. It's big. The fact that you weren't able to detect it earlier means that it was able to mask whatever energy it had, and just the damage you guys have dealt to it by removing this tentacle has caused it to no longer able to mask itself to you.
Hey boys, it's up ahead. I don't know what it is, but I can see it. Ish.
Ish is good enough.
More like I can feel it. It's like a feeling, not really, but like, yeah, I can kind of see it.
Well, we'll kill it like we killed everything else.
That's the spirit.
Do we need to get ready? You want your short rest, Lawrence?
I only need the short rest for a spell slot back now.
I know, I'm just kidding, because you always ask for short rest all the time. But I guess that's not this campaign.
Yes, it was a different one.
When you play as a monk, you need to ask for short rests.
Yeah, that's right. I was getting it in stereo. That's why.
If you guys don't need the short rest and you are going to proceed forward, the Rougarou stands up and brushes the ringworms and nematodes and leeches off of himself. He does that dog shakeout thing where he just sends gunk and muck flying everywhere.
Oh,
I'm sorry, good sir. I was absolutely covered. I apologize. I tried not to get anything on anyone, but my apologies. I can smell a mighty evil. Is that what you were sensing?
oh yeah. This ain't no normal evil. This is bad. Yeah, maybe I should just tell you guys. This is from one of the hells. This ain't no normal witch in the forest being all spooky. This is something serious, guys. I think this is Pelagathos itself, which has never been. It's a ring of hell that's not been real cool with my dad. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself proper to you. I'm actually the son of a devil.
I was going to ask, but it did seem rude. But you do have a very Catholically devilish motif.
Uh, Thank you.
If it's what you're going for, you're welcome.
Okay, I'll take it.
It's scary.
Well, you're scary.
I am also scary, so we are scary. Ruger turns in the direction of the evil that you feel, Mikey, and snarls, waits for the go-ahead.
Yeah, it's not good.
If you gentlemen are ready, I am...
Alright, so we should all still have pass without trace. Should we go in sneaky?
Yes.
I mean, it knows we cut off its fucking appendage, right?
That's fine.
Doesn't mean you can't sneak up on something.
Yeah.
Just a little bit harder.
The initial strike.
So that's a 14 with plus 10.
Oh, all right.
I don't think I've ever rolled a fucking stealth as this character. Let's see how it goes.
What I will say is, if I get caught, don't worry about it.
Actually, no, I think I have at least once.
Ooh, 16 for you, 19 for Rougarou, 14 for me, 13 for the werewolf.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. The dice gods did not want you guys to stealthily approach this.
No.
No, nobody broke over 10.
Alright.
Oh, we all got plus 10.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
You all got plus 10, but like with it being aware, like Lawrence pointed out, with it being aware that something was coming because it had its tentacle cut off, none of these are going to pass.
I'd like to try a different strategy, cast polymorph on myself and turn into a giant ape.
Oh, it doesn't give you advantage, it gives you plus 10?
Yeah.
Oh wait, so still none of them would pass? Like 16 and the 7 or the 16 would not pass?
Because it was actually waiting for you guys, I needed 20s.
Damn.
20 pluses, which is generally pretty easy to get with pass without trace, but all you had to roll was a 10 or higher.
Wow. The dice gods have spoken.
But yes, I polymorphed myself into a giant ape.
This is an interesting one because I feel like the glasses of Lyra were designed for you in your transformations, but not necessarily polymorphs.
Okay, that's fine. I turned Rougarou into a giant ape.
No, I feel like this is cooler with 3 giant apes essentially. 2 are not real.
I'll turn Lawrence into it.
Now you could turn yourself into a giant ape.
Mikey, you want to be a giant ape?
You can be a giant ape, and your mirror images can be a giant ape.
What's your con save for
As a giant ape, at least plus 4.
concentration on polymorph?
I have a 50-foot ranged attack that deals 76 plus 6 bludgeoning damage.
Do you roll your con save as the ape stats or your own?
It's basically whatever's higher, plus if I'm proficient with it, I get to add that too. I'm not proficient with it, but I do get to use its 18 con stat instead of my 14.
Okay. Yeah, I say let him turn himself into a giant ape.
All right, so Norman, describe to me you transforming into a giant ape as you guys burst through the underbrush here with a giant source of evil energy.
Rougarou, Mikey, Lawrence squad up behind trees, but I just like go plowing through the main path. Guys, trust me. I run out from the tree line. I don't even bother to take a second to look at what's in front of me. Throw my arms up, doing all of this druidy nature energy stuff. Slam the ground. Each time I slam the ground, I get a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Then the fists start kind of going in a more wild, giant ape slam against the ground, and then I'm just pounding my chest, and I grab a boulder out of the ground and hold it up.
Dope. As you burst into this clearing, everyone else and yourself looks out, and what you see is a giant willow tree.
Is this a reaping willow as opposed to a weeping willow?
I hadn't prepped that pun, but I do like it.
Okay. If it didn't have a name, I just named it.
Now it's a reaping willow. It's a giant fucking willow tree. Think of it like that big ass tree in Avatar.
Oh.
Yeah. Big fucking tree.
Evil hanging tree in Witcher 3.
Yep. This tree is just pulsing with dark energy. The bark ripples as if liquid moves underneath of it. The roots that plow into the ground at its base ripple in and out of the ground. These are the tentacles that you had seen. There's hundreds of them running through the forest. You see them moving and whipping and darting in and out of the grounds. All of them look like snakes digging underneath and re-emerging, moving throughout the forest. You look up the tree, and halfway up there's a giant tear where this dark purple and black flame seems to pour out of it, whips up into the night sky, illuminating all of the branches of this tree, which are just adorned with corpses, animals, and people stuck into the tree with spikes at some points attached to the bark. Some of them are hanging from vines. You feel wind blow through the forest as the storm is getting closer, and it pushes past you this putrid smell of death and decay. This morbid, clanging, deathly wind chime plays its awful tune, and two of these branches coalesce and twist themselves together to make two large arms reach into this burning purple fire gash and tear it over. This awful cracking of bones and wood, and you watch as this tormented, grotesque, skullish face erupts from the tree and screams out in pain as lightning strikes and the rain begins to fall heavy again. Seems to be battling with some variety of terrible pain. As I need everybody to give me a wisdom saving throw for a sanity check, and then we will end this week's session and start next week at the top of the initiative order that we already had, with Mikey going first, as you guys all battle this absolutely hellish tree beast.
I passed my wisdom save, and the other two failed again.
I do not.
So just roll d8s. It's not going to change your
Come on.
DC.
Come on. Damn it.
Oh!
Oh, we're not brothers anymore. Insanity.
Not brother.
No. I rolled a 7.
Mikey's down to 70. Lawrence is down to 73.
You're within 2 rolls of having temporary effects kick in. I believe 60 is when that happens.
Yes, it is.
And no big deal. I can handle it. I'm a
All right.
Well, guys,
I'm a fucking
thank
demon.
you so much. I'm doing the outro, motherfucker!
Just a quote that I saw. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Sit the fuck down. No. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We hope you had a wonderful time with us as we're having with each other. Yeah, motherfucker!
Outro recorded.
You.
I think we've got enough to begin a rap song now. Fuck yeah.
Glad we cut out that last section.
Whoa, we're gonna talk about more anal stuff while we have the recording going, because this will make some great end of the episode content.
Nah, it's already gone.
Content.
Magic's not there anymore.
Yep.
Does anybody have a tiny song they want to sing?
A tiny song?
Tiny Dancer. Tiny Dancer.
The tiny song by a tiny person.
No, nobody does. Not a single person.
Nope. Yeah. Not a single person ever had a tiny song to sing.
Is Brian cutting out at all for anybody else?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you go high pitch, sometimes the noise cancellation doesn't want you to sing high pitch. I'm surprised to let me do the tiny song.
It's the tiniest song that anyone's ever heard.
Yes, good. Submit to the tiny song.
I will do no tiny song.